So the last thing we're going to be doing is I want to go over this video that says when wokes and racists agree on everything. I watched a little bit of this video and I thought it was hilarious. Hilarious not in the way that they're like right, but hilarious in the way that they think that they're right, and I think that's really funny. So we're gonna let's just watch it. You know, let's just have a good time. Welcome to Vibe City.
When me and Brad first met, I didn't think we'd get along, but turns out we kind of agree on everything. Your racial identity is the most important thing.
Okay, so like this is a 2-minute video, so we can we're gonna have to be pausing pretty quickly. Okay, so racial identity is the most important thing. I don't know anybody who says racial identity is the most important thing, and this like generalizes these two positions so incredibly like dishonestly that it's really hard to take anything in this video seriously. All right, so but we can like try and tackle it. Okay, racial identity is the most important thing. No, but it is very important to understand some plights and struggles that people go through in society, because we need an intersectional approach to these problems, because some issues in our society are there because of race. Some issues are there because of class. Some issues are there because of just bigotry for on other levels. Okay, and it's important to understand where these things intersect to get a holistic view of how people are treated in society. So no, race is not like your most important thing. I think whether or not you you like hot, whether or not you like to put like pepper. I'm not even gonna continue this. I had something in my head and then I lost it and then I tried to like make something up. It's not gonna work. Let's just keep going.
Everything should be looked at through the lens of race.
Everything should be looked at through the lens of race. Everything should be looked at in an intersectional view. And that intersectional lens can contain race. I don't know about everything should be looked at through the lens of race. Just pure, that's it. We don't want to be race reductionists, okay? And we don't want to be class reductionists either. We should understand where these things overlap. Were you going to make a white people bland food joke? No, I was going to say like the most important thing is whether or not you like pineapple on pizza or not. But then I already made that joke and it's not really funny. So I was going to like say something else. And then I got like the image. I remembered my older brother always putting pepper on his macaroni. That's why I said pepper. And I never really understood why he put pepper on his macaroni. I just used to eat like bland, like, well, not bland, but just straight up macaroni. So that's really why I was about to say that. But I decided to just stop. Just cut it off there. Cut my losses. Okay. Just book it. So yeah.
Thanks. You owe me a Coke. We both have a lot of opinions about people of color, even though we barely know any.
I say colored people, but
even though we barely know any. I don't know. Woke people usually live in inner cities and stuff like that. And those places usually have higher portions of minority people in there. Also, gender minorities and queer folk. So I feel like the woke most likely knows a decent amount of colored people, and the racists maybe too. I know. I've been on the Donald. I've read testimonials from people who work at companies that are set up in Mexico, talking about how much they hate working with a bunch of like dirty Mexicans or whatever. The racists may know a couple of non-white people too. Who knows?
As long as we're classifying them, we both think minorities are a united group who think the same and act the same.
And vote the same. You don't want to lose your black card. Sorry,
Invoke the same. Don't want to use. Nice callback to Joe Biden. Okay, so there are indeed some Twitter libs who are kind of like minorities are a monolith. But that has nothing to do with like necessarily the woke spectrum and the racist spectrum on racist. It has more to do with just general sort of people's view on minorities in this country, where like usually you'll see like white people in there treated as individuals, and lots of minorities are treated as sort of like groups and like things and like a globulous amalgamation of human beings of a darker skin complexion that may believe these sorts of things. That's where you get a lot of stereotypes from when it comes to a lot of minority people. But this has nothing to do with these two specific sides of the spectrum, and it has everything to do with just like American society and Eurocentrism. But it's not like they care.
I don't know. I just think we should
Roll back discrimination laws so we can hire based on race again.
Okay, so this one too. This one is where I stopped watching the video. Roll back the discrimination laws so we can hire based on race again. So this is important because I assume that this like really shitty video was made in California. All right. Lots of these people live in California. So in California, this is a callback, I'm quite sure, to California's legislator wanting to roll back Proposition 209, as I think is called. And Proposition 209 says that the government of California cannot factor in race, cannot make laws that help factor in race to hiring, to college admissions, things like that. And so that people cannot consider race when like hiring, stuff like that. So what Prop 9 did basically is make affirmative action illegal, right? I believe you cannot do it for race and you cannot do it for gender in California right now. So basically in California, affirmative action is just illegal. All right. And now whether or not you like affirmative action or not, I could not care less. But in California, they would like to implement something like affirmative action to help some marginalized communities get a leg up. OK. And it kind of sounds a little bit different from roll back discrimination law so we can hire based on race and roll back a law that makes affirmative action illegal. When you view it through a different lens, it kind of sounds a little bit different, But these people, they're hell bent on trying to make the woke and the racist sound as similar as possible. So they have to essentialize as much as they can.
Thanks. Now you owe me a Coke. Hey, tell them what you told me yesterday.
White actors should only do voices for white cartoon characters.
I've been saying that for years. Stick to your own.
Us white people, we have so much.
That one's I've seen a couple of like Twitter libs say stuff like that. That was pretty cringe. Also, I mean, that one has a tiny bit of bearing and proof of truth to it, just like the tiniest bit, because there's some like Twitter libs who say stuff like that. What was it? Who's the dude from Family Guy? Like the black character from Family Guy, Cleveland Brown. Is that his name? The voice actor from there stepped down. He said he wanted a black actor to hop in there. But that has nothing to do with like being like super woke. It's just like kind of stupid. It's basically just virtue signaling, which is funny because conservatives don't know how to use the term virtue signaling. But yeah, it's literally just virtue signaling. No one cares about this. Literally no one cared about the dude who hopped behind the microphone every week to do his best Cleveland Brown impression. Well, it's not necessarily an impression if he's Cleveland Brown. No one cared. No one cared. It's just like people who feel like they feel like they could do something decided this is their stake in the ground and they're going to die on this hill. It's really stupid. You donate money to like an organization that helps marginalized communities. There you go. That'd be far better and do far more work for like any non-white group in this country, any marginalized community in this country, than stepping down as Cleveland Brown.
Privilege.
I agree. It is a privilege to be white. Ask him about interracial.
Who even says like white people are endowed with like fundamental? See, this is like really weird. I saw this before. I think it was like from Ben Shapiro or something. Someone at the Daily Wire were like, they were like, what was it? They were like, like, oh, you think, oh, it was Jordan Peterson. I remember Jordan Peterson was like, oh, you think white privilege exists? Huh? Well, do you think Chinese privilege exists in China? huh? Do you think that African privilege exists in Africa? And I'm like, yes. Yes, it's just majority privilege. Yes, it's just majority privilege. I've never heard anyone in my life besides like neo-Nazis espouse that like white people are endowed with like genetic traits that make them fundamentally better than other races. That's it. Okay. And the woke doesn't believe that.
Dating.
All I said is that black men who date white women have internalized racism, and white men that date ethnic women are fetishizing them.
Guys against interracial.
This is really funny. This is really funny because basically, when they make something like this, what they can do is just point to like any instance in society where anyone makes any sort of claim that's even tangentially close to anything that the woke says, and they can easily justify their claim. We can just say this isn't a wide held belief, and it's just not. No one goes around saying things like this. Maybe you can find like a 2-minute read Medium article about it. I don't know. Maybe, I guess, but I don't think I've never met anyone who believes this.
Racial dating now. Like, am I being pranked? Did Boomer put you up to this?
Ugh, you know that taco place is white owned?
White people should be making white foods like Kraft macaroni and cheese, no seasoning, not even salt. It's like he's a mind reader. I mean, I've been pushing for segregation forever, and my man does what?
I created an improv comedy show exclusively for ethnic people.
Guy segregates comedy on my birthday.
White people need to stop wearing dreadlocks, and they need to stop appropriating black people's music.
Shaved heads and country music, the way God intended.
Wow, this is really bad. This is really bad. Who believes it? When they're like, if you would ever go up to any one of these people and you'd be like, who believes this? What they'll do is they'll scour their Twitter bookmarks, because you know they save every one of these, and they'll find a tweet with like 12 likes, max, that says something like this from an account that was made like 2 months ago. You know, it just doesn't even have like a profile pic, or if it does, it's an anime profile pic. You know, it's just like no one believes this.
You know, all white people are racist.
I'm listening.
Even if you have a black wife or a black friend group, you're still really racist.
You know,
See, this is like the it's really funny because it's just like I love when conservatives do this. Steven Crowder did this exact same thing where he made a video about where he imagined a black guy and then red pilled him. This is just a bunch of like reactionaries on the internet coming together, doing the like SJW cringe compilation, destroyed, offended in all caps, obliterated in all caps, 10 exclamation marks and 15 laughing crying emojis. Like this is just it, just condensed down into a 1 minute and 44 second video of them making up straw men for them to chop down with their katana blade they bought off of off the internet. You know, this is just like, this is it. This is all they wanted to do. This is all they've ever wanted to do, is just take shot at straw men. That's why you'll never see these people actually do debates, because they're just really stupid. Anybody who believes this hops into a debate with a regular human being gets obliterated. It just like every time they try it, they just get destroyed, because they're like, you think all white people are genetically like racist? And they're just like, no. And then they just get shut down. It's really funny.
Kicked the guy out of the organization for having a black girlfriend, but if you can promise me he's still really racist, we'll consider letting him back in. Black people should only shop at black businesses.
I guess the only
Who has ever said that? Black people should only shop at black businesses? Who has ever said that? Like, what are you talking about? Like, the conservatives will say something like that, and then get really mad at like Uber Eats for like promoting black businesses with their user base that's majority white, and then the wokes will cheer for it. It's almost like they're pulling this straight out of their ass and has no clue about what they're talking about.
The only thing we really disagree about is I think white people are the root of all evil.
But what did I tell you, though? If we can narrow that down to a certain group of tiny-hatted white people, I think we can come to an understanding.
Technically, I don't consider Jewish people white.
Neither do I.
Really fun. Wow. What comedy. Thank you, Ryan Long Comedy. you've really provided us with such a haha giggle. Yeah, wow, incredible. I've had so much fun. They even got the Jewish question in there. It's really funny. So like their whole goal here is to like scroll the Overton window back right. That's their main goal with this, right? Because if they make like intersectionality look as bad as racism, then they can do their like casual racism without it being as overt, and they don't have to really change their fundamental beliefs, and they can just be like your average conservative without feeling bad about it, you know? Because I'm not woke, but I'm also not racist. Haha, got him. So fundamentally they'll still land exactly where they're standing.